After the fight, I saw it. I'm assuming everyone here did as well.
I watched it the next day, but yeah.
How do we feel?
I liked it.
I loved it.
I think it's comedic genius.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
I think it's storytelling genius.
Dave Chappelle has just released his new comedy special, The Unstoppable, on Netflix, and it's already sparking a lot of debate. Reactions have been mixed across the board. Some people are calling it boring. Others say it feels more like a TED Talk than a stand-up special, while many are praising it as pure comedic genius. As expected, Chappelle touched on a wide range of topics. He spoke about gentrification, racism, Jack Johnson, P. Diddy, and the conflict in the Middle East. He also, as he has in the past, included jokes about transgender issues, something that Mark Lamont Hill openly criticized. Now, the Joe Budden podcast has weighed in with their own reaction to the legendary Dave Chappelle, and we've got that discussion lined up for you right here. Let's get into it.
After the fight, I saw it. I'm assuming everyone here did as well.
I watched it the next day, but yeah.
How do we feel?
I liked it.
I loved it.
I think it's comedic genius.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
I think it's storytelling genius, really.
Yeah.
Like it's funny and comedic, but his strength is storytelling.
The whole Jack Johnson.
Relatability,
yeah.
He'll tie something into today and go back 40 years ago. He's always teaching some shit. Like, I think it was flawless.
I loved it.
It wasn't as funny as some of his other shit has been on a comedic point, but I think it was flawless.
I think he's used, his goal ain't to be ha funny. It's, I got something to say, and I could dress it up around all of the comedy.
Edutain.
Yeah, there you go.
Edutain.
Okay.
To get back.
Yeah, he's separate. I mean, it's clear separation. Now, after this, I don't want to hear the rest of the names that people be trying to throw at his.
Yeah.
But,
Like ever, or you mean currently?
Ever.
Oh, whoa.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Ever.
Okay.
I liked parts of it. I think he's a genius, and I thought that watching it, I saw genius throughout it. The storytelling I thought was amazing. There's a few moments that I thought weren't. I think there's a few moments that the joke wasn't even funny enough to justify the meanness or the punching down.
The trans joke. I'm with you on that.
There's two moments. Like the Cassie joke, at least, while I didn't think it needed to happen, was at least funny. Like just objectively, like I got the joke of it.
Yeah.
Didn't think it needed to happen because again, there's a meanness to that I don't think needs to happen. But it was funny. The trans joke to me wasn't even funny enough to justify. Let me be clear. It's never justified. But sometimes you can watch something and be like, all right, I get how he got there. This didn't feel like he thought it was that funny. It felt like he's just doubling down because they tell him not to do it.
Triple,
so it felt
quadruple, quintupling
that, right. It's like the 10th straight special with a trans joke. And it's like, this one, I don't even think you think this is funny. It just felt like unnecessary. It's like, no one's going to tell me not to do this, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't love that. But overall, I thought it was a good special.
Yeah, that was
not
just
the
a
best,
blip.
but a good
that
one.
was just a blip in the special.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that in the context of the flawless comment. So I'm thinking like there were some moments. There were some flaws. But I like what he does.
While I agree with your transgender point and the tripling down of something, I totally agree. No argument. It does come off like nobody's going to tell me not to do it. So I'm doing it. I had a past beef and this is how I'm carrying on about it. A part of it also feels like, you want to root for comedians to be free of censorship.
For sure.
Right? Not at the expense of others. I did think how he tied it into his broader point was genius.
Genius, bro.
That's why I didn't mind the joke.
That's why I didn't mind it either.
His broader point of, because a lot of people may have been lost and the crowd sounded that way when he started with his whole, I felt a lot more free in Saudi Arabia. Like to even start with that sentence, I, as someone watching, was like, tell me more. I don't get it.
Right.
I'm not educated enough. I don't know enough about what's going on over there. Where is he going? His demonstration that he laid out, while that part I still agree with that part was mean, but his broader point and the execution of it, I thought was flawless.
Yes.
Okay.
And to end it the way that he ended it, even how he ties these things in, the social and political
Hypocrisy of the yo, that shit is flawless, bro.
And like you said, the edutainment. I loved the long, drawn out Jack. What's his name? Jack Johnson.
Man,
I like even how he's. I normally hate comedian segues. Because sometimes they just too predictable. We've been watching comedy all our lives.
Try to call a joke or call a punchline.
How he does it with like, here's the bold sentence. Like that was, you know, he takes a pull of that cigarette. It's all just a masterclass to me. And I'm going to glaze. Because I'm a huge fan of what he's doing. But he took the pull of the cigarette. Like, I think it all started with Jack Johnson.
1910.
Yeah, he know good and goddamn well we don't know who the fuck Jack Johnson is off the top of our head.
So put your seatbelt on while I take you on this ride, and I'll tie it right back in.
I was at the edge of my seat. Jack Johnson liked white bitches. He's like, woo.
So he did, yeah.
Like this was.
They got video of Jack Johnson.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah.
But I want to also chef's kiss to the production team on this, because once he told whatever story he was telling, how it started and how it ended production-wise, with the pictures of Nipsey, the pictures of Jack Johnson, the pictures of the so many, anything that
the whole ending.
Yes,
Stevie Wonder, all of them, he killed that shit, bro.
And even at the starting it with from 7 years ago at the Mark Twain joint when he said, "My mother always told me," I forget the quote. Sometimes you have to be a lion so you can continue to be a sheep. Or I might be fucking
the lamb. Some
deep shit that great grandma would tell you. And then they showed her mouth in it too. Like it was the production on this was special. It was. Yeah. And he put on a clinic. I still agree with Mark's point. You're being mean to the transgender people.
I just think from a comedic standpoint, like, enough's enough.
Like, it just wasn't fun. The funniest part of the joke was when he said, well, it turns out it's a misdemeanor in Saudi Arabia, right? Yeah. Because at least
that was funny.
Because that's interesting, and it's not anti-trans, right? It's actually the opposite. It's pointing out how disposable their lives are in a lot of places. Yeah. But also, that's at least an original take. Making a dick joke is like, come on, man. You're maybe the greatest comedian you are the greatest comedian of your generation. You're one of the greatest comedians ever. Like, you got better material than that. You know what I mean? I didn't agree with him on the Saudi Arabia stuff. I think it's a bad argument. But in terms of the well, one, to say, well, Saudi Arabia kills journalists, but what about Israel? Doesn't negate the fact that Saudi Arabia kills journalists. It just means don't perform either place.
No,
right?
See, I think he spoke to the hypocrisy of the people that were critiquing him.
Right, but I was one of the people critiquing him.
That's you, though, but you stand on, we know one side, but you're not all of the critics.
I know. And what I'm saying is that's not a good defense of going to Saudi Arabia. That's the hypocrisy part, yes, but he was also justifying going there.
See,
he said, I can freer there. I can speak there.
No, I think we got something different, and you might be looking at it from something different based on your own education on the region. You are way more educated.
No, I don't even mean at that level. I mean, he thinks it was okay to go.
No.
See what I'm saying? He said, I'm waiting for my next Arab check. Again, good jokes. I'm not mad at the performance. I'm just saying, personally, I agree with you. We may have taken
but the
different.
think it's okay to go part is, I think, what he was speaking to.
Yeah, I think he was like, yo, dog, y'all critiqued me for going there because they killed, and the justification was, well, yo, they killed a journalist there. Yeah. But y'all ain't saying nothing about over here where they killed 240 journalists in the last 3 months or whatever time frame he said. It was like, yo, so y'all could critique that and think that part over there is okay.
I think Mark is saying that he also does critique that, and a lot of people also do critique that.
A lot of people aren't doing that. That's what I'm saying. That becomes a straw man. I'm saying a lot of people who are mad at him from going there are also boycotting Israel for killing journalists. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's not like I'm this small minority on that. And what's funny is when he said,
where do you stand on America's participation in it?
Oh, I think we're complicit. If anybody wants to boycott here, I think they should, and I would support it. I absolutely would.
And that's what I think that's his point. That's what I think the broader point is.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go there.
We got that part. Yeah, Mark. I understand that.
Yeah.
You are speaking for the people like you. You're going to activist against it all. So I understand that part.
And I just think you're more educated than the masses in the goings on.
But I don't think the masses are criticizing him for it. I think the people criticize him.
I think his point is Mark is complicit whether you want to be or not.
And I think that's a fair point. I think we're all complicit. I think that's right. I just don't think it's a good argument. All I'm saying is I don't think it's the best argument for it. I'm not, again, he can have that take. A lot of people have that take. I wouldn't die on the Saudi Arabia hill because I think, again, there's enough contradictions everywhere. I just think that wasn't the best take. But when he said, like, I'm freer to speak there, it's interesting because he's like, again, my trans jokes kill over there. True, but if he imagine making an anti-Muslim joke over there. It's not that you would almost think that Saudi Arabia was this free place where you can say whatever you want. It's just it happens to be that his jokes float.
Yeah, I understand.
His jokes float there. Imagine a trans comedian can't go over there and tell that joke. True. So I'm just saying, like, it's and I'm not trying to demonize Saudi Arabia because, again, America got a lot of them shit. And again, do what y'all need to do. I'm just saying I didn't agree with some of the political arguments, but I try not to let the political arguments get in the way of my appreciation of the comedy. Because if I had to agree with a comedian, Eddie Murphy Raw, I don't agree with 90% of it, but the shit's classic.
Right.
Well, let's hear what Dave Chappelle and his crew had to say about you.
Because you're willing.
But watching it, even though when the person is a clear idiot, you still had a kindness in your approach to, like, not make them look stupid.
Jerobi, are you talking about my episode?
But that's the whole problem with what Malcolm Hill did with Candace Owens that we were talking about earlier. Is that
I was laughing, just thinking of Mark Lamar Hill. If he sat there and talked to her and kept going, do you smell something? Do you smell anything?
But see, even that pussy joke to me is more effective than Mark Lamar Hill sitting down and trying to be like, but Candace, but why? But why Candace?
Here's why you were so effective, though, in what you said about Candace going. Because they've held you up as an avatar of truth-telling. Because you're willing.
I mean, they're about to tear you up when the music come on.
In the way that you want to speak it. So their whole thing is we're censored, right? As always, the right is always the victim in any conversation. In a time of racial unrest where 400 years of, degradation, they want to make themselves the victim of this moment. But the Candace Owens thing, right? So her life is provocation. Her brand is provocation. That's how she makes her money. They're not about free speech because they always somehow end up in Berkeley. They're there to troll. It's not a genuine offer of argument and exchange of ideas. It's a provocation and troll that's meant to increase brand recognition. You come out and you give her the greatest opening you can to create provocation and conversation, brand recognition, but because of who you are, what was her response? She took the knee. That's right. She took the knee. And that's what I mean. When you address that in that straightforward manner with credibility that's been earned, all they can do is take the knee.
Because she's not going to troll her way out of that one.
Right, because you weren't trolling her, you read her who she was.
She's the worst. I can't think of a worse way to make money. She's the most articulate idiot I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah.
No, Joe Budden.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, points are made. Points are made. I never got a chance to listen to it. It was behind the paywall when it came out.
Yeah, good old Luminary.
Yeah.
My very first podcast offer.
Oh,
yeah.
Luminary, yeah. Goddamn right.
Yeah. I mean, they raise a good point. But to me, that's what makes Dave Chappelle so important. And all comedians is that there's other ways to criticize the powerful. There's other ways to check those who are controlling the world other than just people like me arguing back and forth. And that's what makes him a genius. That's why I love when Dave punches up or punches straight ahead. That's why I love him when he does that, because no one else can take those people down like him.
I think that's a fair critique. What you have to say about him. But outside of that, did you enjoy it?
Yeah. Overall, I enjoyed it. I don't think it was his best special. Like, if I had to rank even the Netflix specials, some of them are more like you said, like talks than things. But it would be in the middle toward in terms of my favorites of his on the Netflix range. But Dave Chappelle can't do a bad comedy special.
That's how I feel about it.
He's too talented. Yeah. I'd give it a B+ for him on his scale. A B+ on his scale.
Now, one of the things I love about Dave, and while I do my glaze off here, pause, a lot of this shit, you never hear about his wife. Mm-hmm. He used to do it ages ago, but at some point,
he had that joke about it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, at some point, maybe since the Netflix deal, it's not family, nothing. It ain't. This is what's going on in the crib, like most comedians lean on. I got a point. I'm getting to it. The end. Mm-hmm. Go Dave.
Yeah. Go Dave.
Go Dave.
I think he just touched on so much important shit
Subtly too, though.
Yeah, yo, like him buying the town. All he just touched on so much shit, bro. Like I think that shit was masterful. Again, it wasn't the most ha laugh joke crack slap knee funny. I just think that shit was a masterpiece.
And he's saying you guys voted for Trump.
He say a lot of shit, bro.
You guys voted for Trump. That's why the house market is down, and that's why I was able to buy up all the property. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn,
he could be more risky.
Yeah.
Like he could actually take a stance. Like a lot of people, some of the other comedians up there at that level, they in bed with so many companies and stuff that they can't afford to take the stance.
Some be in bed with
they can't even talk about certain shit on their special that he could talk about.
He got a little bit more freedom.
And I've turned down the money before.
Yeah.
I've turned down the money before. So y'all know that y'all can't control me with the carrot in front of my fucking face. Like I've turned down the money before. I thought that shit was pure genius.
Dave Chappelle, faults and all, is one of the people I'm really happy I was able to share my time on earth with.
Word.
Yes. It's good.
Yeah, man, it's a Dave Chappelle special. I thought it was really good. I always enjoyed Dave Chappelle's comedy. I actually like that slow walk, almost TED Talk style comedy he does, where you're kind of along for the ride and you don't really know where it's going. He's not firing off joke after joke back to back. He's just talking, telling a story, walking with you through it. And then when he finally lands the punchline, you're sitting there like, wow, that was genius. That whole Jack Johnson story he told is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Even the closers he had in the special was strong. I love that kind of comedy because it's rare and it's an art form. That's old school comedy. That's the comedian sitting on a stool just talking to you, and somehow everything he says is funny. That's Bill Cosby level. That's George Carlin level. That's Eddie Murphy level. Dave Chappelle is right up there in that company. He's one of the greatest comedians of all time. Now, some people say he is the greatest of all time, and hey, to each their own. Now, let's talk about the jokes people are mad about. I love the transgender jokes. Mark Lamont Hill didn't like what Dave said, but I honestly think Dave has decided this is a fight he's gonna keep having. They tried to cancel him before, so in his mind, there's beef there. He feels like he's got issues with that group, and every time he gets a chance, every special, he's gonna crack a joke. And honestly, I thought it was hilarious. That falcon joke, where it goes up in the air and then comes down, if you watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That joke had me laughing harder than anything else in the special. And ironically, is one of the jokes that Mark Lamont Hill didn't like. I loved it. I don't think it's old or tired at all. People crack jokes about women all the time, and nobody gets tired of that. People make black jokes over and over, and nobody says those are worn out. So why is this suddenly off limits? To me, a lot of this comes down to people trying to protect sponsors and stay on the safe side. That's the lane Mark Lamont Hill is in. On that side, they try to act like everything is fine, even when it's not. That's also the side that will cancel you the moment you say something wrong. They tried to do that to Dave Chappelle already, so he's clearly not backing down. That's what a lot of people on that side do. They wait for you to mess up, then jump on you online with fake outrage. At the end of the day, it's a joke. Lighten up. Dave even said it himself. It's easier for him to speak in Saudi Arabia than it is here. And we all know how strict Saudi Arabia is. Over here, it feels like you can't joke about anybody without risking getting canceled. Beyond that, I love the other parts of the special too. The gentrification jokes were great. The Jack Johnson story really stood out to me. I knew who Jack Johnson was, the first black heavyweight champion back in the 19-teens. I knew about the Mann Act and how it was used against him, the same law people reference in connection with Diddy today. But I didn't know all the extra details Dave talked about, how they tried to block him from becoming champion and then tried to downplay him once he finally did. The gentrification bit about buying up property in a small white town was hilarious. That line about walking up to white people and asking, "Do you belong here?" That's classic comedy. That's flipping reality on its head in a way only Dave Chappelle can do. To me, Dave Chappelle is a genius. Every time he drops a special, it's an event. The world really does stop when Dave Chappelle releases something. So I want to know what you all think. Did you find it boring? Because a lot of people are saying Dave isn't great anymore, that he just talks too much and takes too long to get to the punchline. Personally, I love that style. There's a science to keeping people engaged like that. Everything doesn't have to be rapid-fire jokes or silly one-liners. Sometimes you have to tell a story. Dave has found his lane, grown, thoughtful comedy where he talks to you, mixes in some silliness, and still delivers strong punchlines. So, yeah, let me know what you think.